Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Friday, December 13th. Oh, man, I just realized Pittsburgh Steelers wrapping up their week of preparation for their Week 15 game against the Philadelphia Eagles, which happens this Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. I'll be on the south side for practice in just a little bit at UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. Let's knock on some wood and make sure that we keep away as many ill spirits as we can here on Friday the 13th. As the Steelers, they're relatively healthy, but they got two big absences. We talked a lot about George Pickens, who obviously missed last Sunday's game against the Cleveland Browns. We talked a little bit about DeShon Elliott on yesterday's afternoon drive. On my Friday podcast, I usually break down one matchup that I think is noteworthy or troublesome or bountiful for the Steelers in this coming game. And man, do I see a lot of trouble for the Steelers secondary in this one. It is such a difficult assignment when you are looking at the Eagles eligibles. And the one thing that, I don't see an obvious way for the Steelers to attack it. Like, for example, Cincinnati Bengals present a similar problem, right? Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, not too many teams have receivers like that. Plus, they got Yoshi Voss, Jermaine Burton. They got Gesicki is a good tight end. But the Steelers definitely had a plan there, right? It was like, okay, T. Higgins, he's the big dude. We're going to put our big dude, Joey Porter Jr., on their big dude, and we're going to give Dante Jackson help with Jamar Chase, and we'll figure it out. It's not so easy with Philly for a couple reasons. One, they don't have a big dude. I mean, A.J. Brown is 6'1", maybe. He's a little bit bigger than DeVonta Smith, who's 6 foot and a little bit skinnier. But it's not, these aren't, neither of them is, I think they both ran almost identical 4.5 40s. So neither of these guys is like a speed merchant that you would want Dante Jackson for. Neither of these guys is, a giant push off guy like a T. Higgins that you would definitely want Porter for. And then you have to deal with Jahan Dotson, who was a first round pick, who's in the slot out of Penn State, a shifty guy, 5'11". And they're running mostly now, since Dallas Goedert has gone on the injured reserve, almost exclusively out of 11 personnel. So one of the best running teams in the league with 3 receivers on the field, all of which who are really capable of cooking you if you don't pay attention to them. And so I think that's a really interesting problem that I'm not sure 1, 2, 3 the Steelers have faced a group of wide receivers that presents this, and certainly not while at the same time being on a team that is so good at running the football. I mean, it would be one thing to say, well, okay, we'll just line up Smith and Jackson and Brown and Porter and try to give them as much, play a bunch of cover 2 or quarters and see if we can give them some deep help and give Cam Sutton, Jahan Dotson. All right, fine. But like Cam Sutton in the slot trying to tackle Saquon Barkley all game is not going to go well. And too high against Saquon Barkley is not going to go well. And they don't have DeShon Elliott, who is their best tackling safety. It's not pretty. It's not a pretty matchup. And I don't think like the Steelers don't have a chance to win this game. They absolutely do. The Eagles have problems, right? They got questions about their passing game and how consistent it can be. People talking about Hurts and Brown are not getting along, and they almost probably should have lost a game to the Carolina Panthers last week. If you can drop a game to the Carolina Panthers, you can drop a game to anyone. I just look at this as an X's and O's problem that I don't see an obvious solution for the Steelers. And so we'll see how they match up. We'll see if they're able to find a way to stop the run and put themselves in position to defend a guy like Dotson in the slot. Like, you're going to play base defense against him and give Patrick Queen Jahan Dotson? I don't know. That's pretty difficult. Maybe they have to come up with something more creative. I don't know. Maybe Minka will come down into the box and cover Jahan Dotson as the slot corner, which we have seen him do from time to time in his career, and just play one high with only one safety on the field. So like that's a way you can do it, right? You leave DeMonte KZ at center field, Jackson, Porter, Minka on the 3 receivers, and that puts Minka in a place to be able to stop the run. We've seen them move Minka around that like that in the past. He played some outside corner against the Cleveland Browns last year. Another team that was challenging the way they like to line up with the way they use Njoku. I think this could be similar. Didn't mention it yesterday. Dallas Goedert is out. He's on the injured reserve. And also, so is their other tight end, who had been their second tight end. And his name is escaping me right now. But they're down to just Grant Calcaterra and CJ Uzoma. And Uzoma hasn't played a whole lot. So I'm not super, I don't think they're going to go a lot of two tight end. I think this is going to be pretty much an 11 personnel kind of game. So the one nice thing about the matchup for the Steelers is that they pretty much know what they're getting from an X's and O's standpoint. It's just that I'm not sure I see an easy way for them to deal with it. We'll see what Terrell Austin and company can come up with. That's all I got for right now. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications here on the YouTube platform so you don't miss sights and sounds coming up later from practice. And today's episode of Steelers Afternoon Drive featuring everyone's favorite DB, just around 6 p.m. And then Steelers Spotlight with Aaron Becker on Saturday, post-game on Sunday, live from Philadelphia. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching all week. And also, if you're listening on an audio platform, we've been getting some more reviews. I think Smitty's going to read some of those on the afternoon drive coming up. So, really appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. Until next time, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and enjoy.